Hi, and welcome to another edition of Seniors Today. I'm your host, Tom Bartee, and today we have here with us Shelley Lockmiller from the Loma Vista Farms. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Tom. Nice to see you.
Same here. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So, one of Vallejo's best-kept secrets is the Loma Vista Farms, and it's managed by a group of people that manage a nonprofit called Friends of the Loma Vista Farm. Is that right?
That's correct. We went into, partnership with the Vallejo School District about 7 years ago. And when everything was really rough here in town, the farm was at risk of being closed down. So the Friends of Loma Vista partnered up, and we've established a regular fundraising program and educational programs that we put on as well. And the farm is thriving. So, of course, there's always room for improvement. So.
Yeah, and continuous improvement breeds success.
Absolutely.
And we've seen some really great things out at the farm. New featured animals, new programs, new buildings. And then you also have some events coming up, right?
We do. May 18th, we've got our annual Spring Festival. It's one of our largest fundraisers. Just so everybody knows, we'll have a different menu this year. So we're trying to walk the talk with proper nutrition and feeding people something other than hot dogs and hamburgers. So look for more vegetables and fruits. So,
that's good.
A fruit bar and a juice bar. So it'll be kind of fun.
So as in the past, the fruits were the volunteers, but that's not the case
That's
anymore?
right. That's right. And they don't fall far from the tree either.
Nuts.
Which reminds me, is we've last fall we were gifted with 45 trees from the Tree Foundation, and a group came out and replanted the orchard. So we've got a whole new set of orchard trees coming up: apples and oranges and lemons and more fig trees. So we're going to be putting in irrigation for that. So that's one thing that we're fundraising for.
I know that over the years you've lost some of the trees that were on the farm, some that were around the pond and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. The willow tree had to go this last season. A large branch came down and put the kids at risk. It was just a safety hazard. Unfortunately, it had been diseased. We found out afterwards. The arborist came out, but the school district came out and took the tree down right away. Now we're looking at the palm tree, and there's a couple of other large trees that need to either be trimmed or, you just have to manage the property pretty well.
So for people that aren't aware of the Loma Vista Farms, can you tell us where it is, what your hours are, and maybe a little bit about the farm?
Okay. Well, 40 years ago, the farm was started by a group of teachers, volunteers, as a way to bring the garden element and farm animals into the children's lives that had probably never seen a horse live. Next year will be our 40th year, so we're going to have some big anniversary celebrations going on. Right now, we're open Monday through Friday, all the way through the school district year. We'll also open in the summertime, July 8th through August 2nd, for summer fun on the farm. Spring break, winter breaks, we're usually open. Rita, our farm caretaker, will be on staff, running field trips and keeping the greenhouse open.
So you actually have a full-size functioning greenhouse.
Yes, it's awesome. It's 4,000 square feet of all kinds of varieties of ornamental plants, lots of flowers, some orchids. Rita does a great job letting the kids be involved with planting and teaching them how to plant, but also raising a whole lot of vegetables for our local community members. The greenhouse is open for plant sales. Really great deals, and they're just lovingly taken care of by Rita and the volunteers over there. We're thinking we would like to try an aquaponic pond here, or an aquaponics setup as well. So aquaponics, where we raise fish who feed the plants, who feed the fish, who feed the plants. And so that's something that we're looking forward to starting a project next year on.
So it'd be like a Venus flytrap that likes salmon?
Yeah, kind of. And maybe some catfish if we're lucky.
All right, well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've also recently been approached by the Nutrition Services Director, Carrie, at the school district to raise as many vegetables as we can, and the school district will actually be using them in the kids' lunch program. So we're very excited about that. We put together a crew of volunteers in the last 3 weeks to plant a 3,100 square foot production garden, which is new for us. We've usually had demonstration gardens, so theme-based garden plots, which were really good training and teaching tools, but not very productive as far as
Like your
creating a lot
pumpkin
of food.
patch and stuff
The
like
pumpkin
that.
patch, the pizza slice garden, the tops and bottoms, which is carrots and greens, the patriotic garden, which is red, white, and blue potatoes. Rita comes up with some really cool little ideas for the different themes on the garden plots.
So you have from horses to chickens to turkeys and sheep and goats.
We have a llama.
A llama.
A llama. We also have a new Barbados baby sheep and her mother there. Probably through the end of the school year. She's on loan to us from another volunteer friend of ours. And we'd like to see the baby animal program grow and expand so that we'll have a rotation of young animals that the kids can enjoy and learn and watch as they grow without taking on the responsibility of keeping animals for 30 years. Albert, our horse, he's 32 right now. He's still going strong.
Is he a senior citizen horse?
He's definitely a senior citizen. You should interview him.
Yeah, I'd have him on with Mr. Ed
There you go.
afternoon.
There you go. It'd be fun.
Well, I've always been amazed over the years at the variety of animals that are at the farm, and also that you have the ability to continue to raise funds for the feed and for the animals and the caretaker, because it's expensive.
It's very expensive. Our feed bill, of course, as the economy and corn prices go up, feed bill goes up as well. So that's a challenge for the nonprofit. That's our main reason for existence, is to support the animals, veterinary bills and feed bills. But we also take part of, we've got several projects that we're working on for capital improvements on the farm. So trying to create a more uniform look, not necessarily modernize, but upgrade. So that's where we're going to be putting a lot of emphasis in this next year or two. We're in the midst of generating a new general plan so that when something does break, we have a certain look and plan put together for it so we know where to go.
So you're open Monday to Friday, and then weekends on occasions?
Weekends, we're running 2 workshops a month on average, on Saturday mornings from really 10 until noon. So usually Farmer Rita will be there from 9 until, say, 1. But if you look at the Facebook page, the hours will be posted for those workshops. Or you can always go to our website, which is lomavistafarm.org.
And is that how people can get in touch with Rita or make appointments to be there or whatever?
Yes, through the website, email her direct, or give us a call at 707-556-8765. 556-8765.
Okay.
You're testing me.
Yeah. That was better than I did.
Rita's able to schedule school trips from in-district schools or out-of-district schools. So we have a lot of out-of-county, out of the Bay Area, actually. We have school kids coming in busloads.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was always impressed with, or one of them, is that there's maybe Fresno and Sacramento and other places throughout the state are bringing people in to tour the facility, and you actually have one building that is fairly new, that is a classroom setting, right?
Yes, it's actually a certified kitchen so that we can feed or cook in it and have nutrition classes in the classroom. That's where Muzi the cow is. Our robotics team has put together Muzi. She's a talking cow, and she has a little routine she can go through with the kids, and the little youngsters really like it.
Is that the engineering academy
It
at
is.
Vallejo High School?
I believe so.
Or Bethel? I'm not sure which school they're at. But anyway,
Anyhow,
don't want to
get
get
it.
sidetracked.
Yeah, that one's got me.
Muzi?
Muzi.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a robotic cow. She's pretty clever.
So you have the classroom with the commercial kitchen and Muzi the cow. You have, on site, there's actually a caretaker that lives there.
Yes. Animals are a 24/7 job, responsibility, and being a 5-acre parcel, there's a lot of land to cover, and there's a lot of things that can happen on a 5-acre farm overnight. Not necessarily bad things, but you have animals that are older or newer. They could be uncomfortable. So our caretakers are there to watch over them, make sure they're being fed and watered properly. They exercise them. The pasture across the way is a great place for them to get to stretch their legs and actually be horses and cows in a bigger setting. So they travel across the road quite often.
So Loma Vista Elementary is the sort of the guardian school. And for those of the people that aren't aware of where Loma Vista Elementary is, can you give us directions?
Sure. The easiest way is to come off of Fairgrounds Drive and take a left onto Corcoran. We're between Fairgrounds and Minnie Drive. In the educational center, it seems like there's 3 schools and then our farm. But we're on Rainier Drive. It's 150 Rainier Drive. And it's on the loop. You can get in on either side of the loop. Loma Vista Elementary has now become an environmental sciences academy. So we have a lot of classroom instruction going on at the farm now, much more so than it has been recently. I understand next year even more classrooms will be involved, so up to 6th grade.
At the intersection of Corcoran and Minnie, you have Fire Station 25, which was just recently reopened. And you have the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
And you have the MIT Academy.
Yes.
And Loma Vista Farms and Loma Vista Elementary.
Yes.
And then next door to that is the Solano Junior High.
Solano Middle, and then just around the corner is Wiedemann. So we have a lot of activity and a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
We get about 18,000 visitors a year on average. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But we maintain the farm so that we can handle the traffic.
Yeah.
And it's open and people can come and visit just about any time.
So at the Spring Festival, say I'm a person that's never been there, and I'm stretching the truth on that a little bit, but what can I expect to see and do at the Spring Festival?
Well, Spring Festival it's a time for renewal in the gardens. So you'll see young plants, you'll see young animals. A lot of the nonprofits from the hospitals and the Head Start organizations, the land trust organizations, the water conservation organizations. A lot of nonprofits will be out in front of the greenhouse in an area. And then on the backside,
they'll have booths,
informational booths, they'll have games. Some of them bring raffle wheels. You never quite know what they're going to show up with. But we should have between a dozen and 20 different vendors there. And then on the animal side of the farm, we'll have what we call an animal adventure. So kids and their parents can actually get to feed the animals, go in and touch them, talk to them, walk with them. We'll also have a food concession that's a different menu this year.
No hot dogs?
Well, there's going to be hot dogs, but we're not going to have hamburgers. We're also putting in more fruits and vegetables in the menu. We're going to have a juice bar, so we're looking forward to that.
I understand in years past you've also had someone taking raw wool and spinning it into yarn.
Yes, one of our long-term volunteers, Barbara Velasco, has a friend who is a spinner, and so between the two of them, the campers or the kids can come in and actually pull the wool on the combs, feel the wool and the lanolin that's on it. And sure enough, at any point in the day, you can find a little kid running around with his wool in his hand and wanting to show people the wool. It's really kind of fun.
So another interesting component that I wanted to share with our audience is the opportunity for volunteerism. And it's, my experience is that, you can be a volunteer in some cases and it's kind of boring, but the Loma Vista experience is pretty exciting.
I think so. I've been so fortunate to learn so much more about this long-term farm, and it's really a gem in the middle of our city. It's a place where everybody can come and have fun and learn something and actually put some elbow grease into the ground. Let's say you live in an apartment and you love to garden, but you just don't have the space. We'd make a perfect place for you to volunteer. We have lots of garden activities that need to be taken care of, and it's an ongoing thing. So you can volunteer an hour a week, you can volunteer 10 hours a week. It really doesn't matter. We'll have something for you to do that you like to do, but that we also need your help with.
I know that there's quite a few of our viewers that like to do volunteer work in the community, and so are you making a formal offer to them to call?
Absolutely, absolutely. Call Farmer Rita at 556-8765. Let her know that you'd like to volunteer, and I'm sure she'd have a whole list of things that you could do.
So do you also have any kind of summer program for the public?
We do. Kids kindergarten through 6th grade, they have to have finished 5th grade going into 6th, are eligible to come to our Summer Fun on the Farm program. It's a summer camp of sorts. It's a half-day program. Runs Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 12:30, starting July 8th and going to August 2nd. It's a week-long program, but we have 4 sessions. So some families send their child to a week's worth, some for the whole month. It's $110 for the week. I'm sorry, it's $99 this year. We dropped the price so we can get more kids involved.
$99.95?
Nope, straight $99.
Oh, okay.
$99. There are a limited number of scholarships available, so that all depends on the success at the Spring Fest for fundraising.
Okay.
And we can take care of about 60 kids a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So is that a first come, first served basis then?
It is, and we're taking reservations for it now. We're doing advanced reservations. Again, just call the farm or go to our website. There's a downloadable registration form, and our coordinator, our summer school coordinator, will get a hold of the family and work out the details from there.
So you also have, your 40th anniversary is coming up, and that's going to be a big deal.
Yes.
And the horse probably will be wearing special clothes or like
I
a
hope so.
blanket or something.
Yeah, yes, we'll get him a new wool blanket for the festivities.
Yeah, and that's actually, that's in the brand new horse barn too, right?
Yes, Cal's barn. Beverly and her husband Cal ran the farm for a lot of years, and they were the caretakers there. And so we dedicated the barn to Cal, who's recently passed. And it's a really nice structure. The animals can get in from the cold and the wet. Their feed is right there. It's a nice building, and so a great way to commemorate somebody who put their heart and soul into the farm.
And from what I understand, that building was a result of support from the community, a lot of pro bono work, and then a couple of major local grants.
We're fortunate. We're fortunate that the farm has such heartstrung ties to the community. People want to donate and support this, not just the venue because it's in the school district or whatever, but it's something that people have grown up with. We have parents come all the time and said, I came here as a kid, and now I'm bringing my kids. So it's
or my grandkids.
Or my grandkids.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of history with the community, and we're grateful for the support. Whether it's time or dollars or materials when we have a project, we can use it all.
And then you also have, and this is one of my favorites, the Fall Festival, where I can always come and get my pumpkin.
Yep. We have Fall Festival is usually early October, late September, early October after harvest. We get our pumpkins from Larry's out in Sassoon, but we also grow our own. So we have a big pumpkin patch out there and a lot of games that the kids can play. Kind of a repeat of summer or of spring festival, only with fall colors and fall fruits and vegetables, I guess. It's a lot of fun. The train is going to run again this year for spring.
So there's a little...
we have a little train that goes around outside the farm gates.
In a loop.
People seem to really like that. Let's see, what else happens at Fall Festival? There's face painting, and there's usually a storyteller, a puppet show. We're looking at finding somebody in the Native American community that can come and help not only rehabilitate the Native American teaching area, but also be a storyteller and share the common themes that we have.
I might be able to help you with that. Call me and let me know.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd like to see that happen.
Yeah, we have an Adobe oven that it was handmade, and it's an actual oven that you can cook in, but it's outside on the ground. It's very neat. It needs some work.
The nonprofit is called Friends of Loma Vista Farms. And is there a membership program that you have, or?
We're just now kicking off a new membership program. We've never tried it before. We figured it would be a way for folks that may not necessarily have a lot of time to volunteer, but still want to be involved in some way. Memberships start at $49 for a single adult and going up to $249 depending on the number of kids. You can have your extended family on the membership as well. At Spring Festival, we'll be having a booth to start the sign-ups for that.
Well, I think because of my personal size, I'm considered to be 1.5 adults.
Okay, $74.95.
Okay, well, I think that's actually a great idea.
I do too.
Will there be a senior citizen rate, do you think?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that would probably be a really good idea.
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, because I definitely would join up, even though I may just barely be underneath the limit.
Okay, well, show your ID and I'm sure someone will let you in.
Or they'll just look at me and know, right?
Okay.
So I think when we talked earlier, you said you've been on the board a couple of years.
Yes, I've been on the board for 2 years. I've been an active volunteer for about 4. This is my first year as an officer, and I'm really trying to...
What is your position as an officer?
President.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm one vote, so it's no big different.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't introduce you as the president. That would have...
No. It's a chance for me to give back to the community and serve the passion that I've got for farming and gardening, being a farmer myself. But it's also, it's a piece of history in this area that I wasn't aware of. I lived here for 20 years and didn't know about it. And Barbara and Morris Velasco introduced me, and it was love at first sight, so what can I say?
So how many board members do you have?
We have 14 currently. We're looking for 2 more active board members because our charter says 16 members. So if you know of anybody that wants to be an active board member,
or
that'd be
if
great.
you know of
anybody out in the public.
Uh-huh.
We're looking for folks that are networked, that have a passion for farming and children, animals, or just community service.
Are there any qualifications for being a board member other than breathing and having your heart pumping?
I'd like to
Probably
think. I'd like to
something.
think so.
Yeah.
We don't have any fundraising requirements, but the ability to ask for help or know a lot of people who want to help is a major plus. Really, just have a passion and some extra time on your hands because it does take some time to.
So just somebody that is involved in the community and passionate about their volunteerism. And if they're not sure, they can always call.
You can call the farm, 707-556-8765. Our board meetings are open to the public. They're the second Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock on the farm. So you can
In the
come
classroom?
in the classroom. You can come and visit and see how we operate. It can be a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun.
You mentioned the master plan. And I'm sure that the farm was originally built with a master plan, but it may be like the city of Vallejo. It was done a long time ago. And is that, can you give us a little bit of a time frame or an idea, a conceptual idea of what you're working on?
Well, apparently 5 years ago there was a plan put together. Maybe it was a little bit longer than that. But with the change with the Environmental Sciences Academy using the farm a lot more, we wanted to look at a more uniform look for all the structures on the farm. So the paint and the paper are the same, the roof lines look the same. So it's from an aesthetic standpoint, that's one parameter. Another parameter is it healthy and useful for the animals that make the farm their home? So is a structure needing to be modernized or upgraded so that the animals are well served? It also needs to be easy for our caretakers to manage. We do operate with very, very limited staff, so time is of the essence. You want the animals to have enough quality time with their caretakers, but also not make it backbreaking work. So things like feeding and watering need to be convenient, but also accessible for the public so that the kids can participate in that kind of activity as well. So we're looking at all of those things. We're also looking at expanding the garden area for the production garden so that we can participate with the school district lunch programs to a greater extent. So all of those things are coming into play. One of the major centerpieces of the farm is the pond. It's in the middle of the pond, in the middle of the farm, quite literally. So we want to design that so it's a natural environment, but also accessible. Right now, you can't get down to the water line, which is probably a good thing from a safety standpoint, but there's areas that we could improve some of the educational opportunities by restructuring that a bit. So,
Speaking of water, is your water supplied from the school?
it is.
Okay.
It is. The school district is great. What they've done for the Friends of Loma Vista is allow the farm to stay open by supplying the kitchen and the classroom. They pay all the utility bills and the water bills. So from the physical structures, they take care of the daily expenses. If there's large capital programs that need to be tackled, like the feed barn needs to be upgraded, that's something that the Friends of Loma Vista are going to be working with the school district for design purposes, but from a funding standpoint, that's on us. We're going to tackle that one full force.
I want to do a membership myself, and I was going to ask what there's probably a myriad of benefits to those that have a membership.
There are.
Can you share any of that?
They're all listed on the website on our membership page. Some of the things include T-shirts and hats. It just depends on what level you come in.
That's your logo right there?
This is our farm logo right here. It's very cute. We'll have a 40th anniversary celebration logo coming out in the fall as well. Different tickets to different events that we'll be hosting at the farm. A volunteer appreciation picnic, a membership-only picnic. There's just a whole list of things I can't recall right off the top of my head, but they're of great value, and it's going to help support the farm in more of an ongoing support stream versus one-off events.
Do you have any other fundraisers that we haven't discussed, or?
We held our first fundraiser of 2013 at Vallejo Power Company. It was our annual pasta feed. It was our 10th annual pasta feed. It was a great success. We filled the restaurant. The food was awesome. Michelle St. John, the owner, was very, very generous in her support, donated all the food and her location.
Wow.
And we raised quite a bit of money. We had a live auction, a silent auction and a raffle, which we've had a live auction in the past, but we did just as well without it this time. So let's see, what else? We're going to have the Christmas tree sale last season. We'll have again this year.
When do you start that?
It's the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And it'll go for 3 weeks, 3 weekends. And we'll close up sales the second week of December.
Do you offer a collection program with that too?
The Boy Scouts come and get it.
Scouts?
If you have suggestions on how to manage that, I'd gladly take them.
Yeah, I think you just tag along with your list with the Boy Scouts, and I think they'd be glad to.
They've helped us out in the past, I know. We've got it down to almost a science where we order just as many as what we know we're going to sell. So obviously the goal is to sell out.
Well, maybe that's an opportunity for a class in environmental science to chip the trees and then do compost.
Oh, composting is a huge program for us. We're looking at expanding that one as well. I'd like to see a vermiculture. We have a worm bin already, which the kids love, but I'd like to see an actual vermiculture program put in place so that we can harvest the worm castings to use in the garden.
A really interesting thing that's starting up in a lot of counties, and the only one I'm familiar with is Napa County, where they're starting a composting program for food waste out of restaurants. And they have to handle that as a separate recycling stream, but at some point that can be an adjunct to a regular composting operation. And it seemed like the farm would be a perfect place to do a joint venture with somebody like Recology.
Actually, Lisa Lefevre, the recycling manager at Recology, is on our board, and we're talking about just those types of things. Also, Rita has approached our new principal up at Loma Vista about recycling the food waste from the school.
They have food waste?
They do, surprisingly. Whole nother show.
Yeah, I know.
But we're working on that. So we'll be bringing some of those food scraps down and composting that, and that's another training. It's also pretty labor intensive, so volunteers are in great need for that kind of a program.
Well, that's great. You made me remember an elementary school experience where one of my best friend's dad was a principal, and he was a very strict Southern gentleman. This was near Niagara Falls in New York. And he would walk around the cafeteria at lunchtime and force you to finish your meal. He would stand there, stand over your table, and he would watch you finish your sandwich. So we had all these creative ways of like stuffing in our pockets, and the milk carton, was, but that's why I was joking about food waste, because I know elementary school kids can be really picky.
They can be very picky. Again, that's why we're really excited about being able to supply the district with fresh organic produce grown right in basically our own backyard. It brought sparkles to my eyes when I first heard that they were approaching us to do that. So
cool.
Because it's been a dream.
Well, we have less than a minute left. Anything you want to share with us in the time remaining?
Well, thank you for a great 39 years. We're coming up on 40. Please come out and support the farm at our Spring Festival on May 18th. It's free admission, and it's from 11 to 4.
Terrific. Well, thank you for being here today, and thank you for your leadership as president and your commitment to the community and for everything that Loma Vista does. I know my personal experience my life has been enriched by Loma Vista, my kids and their friends. I think it's a great thing for Vallejo, and I appreciate everything you do.
Well, thank you for having us on the show.
Oh, sure. Glad
You're going to make me cry.
Well,
I love this place, really.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks again for being here, and President of Loma Vista, Shelley Lockmiller. Hopefully I got that right.
You got it right.
And we'll have you back again sometime.
Appreciate it.
So that's all the time we have for today. Our show airs at 6 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we are available on Comcast 27, AT&T U-verse 99, and streaming live video at VCAT TV.